Good morning, Chirag. Welcome to the episode 3 of KPC Conversation. Today's our topic is it's a very new topic, but again, it's a topic which is very much with our profession dependency. We'll come up to on the topic later on. First, it's a very challenging time for us as an auditor because society and regulators expect a lot of things from us. For that, we as auditors have to be on our toes and update with our skills in regards to knowledge and technology. Speaking of the same, ICAI have come up with Audit Quality Maturity Model, which is our topic of the day. And we'll be discussing same. We have been discussing same during our normal process of work also, during our assignments also. But this is a topic, so I welcome you, Chirag, and please introduce yourself to the same.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for inviting me on this podcast. I am Chirag Ganatra. I am associated with Jinal Patel and Company. I am handling the statutory audit and I have the experience of more than 10 years.
Thank you, Chirag, for introducing yourself. My name is Jinal Patel, as you know, and I have been associated with this firm since more than 15 years. I have specialized in audit and in transaction for in regards to in this and accounting advisory. So moving to the topic, Chirag. So first of all, what is quality as per you?
Quality is a complex subject and no analysis can achieve its universal recognition. Again, quality is not a measurable, so it is a very subjective matter.
So Chirag, when you have said about quality, so can you say how is quality defined in business?
So if we take the example of pharma companies, they have different parameters for the different products. If the company is selling oral tablets, then they might have different parameters. If they are selling the injectables, so they have the regulatory requirement which is much stringent. And again, if even further in that, if they are exporting the injectables, so there might be they have to follow the US FDA norms.
Yeah, which are more stringent. Yes, I agree. So they have set up a very quality high standards. So I agree. You are as we are taking example of pharma. Let us take example of a company where there are no regulated, but technical regulations are there. Take an example of Apple. Apple delivers their product with a very good high quality standards, and it is a very customer centric business. By the giving such a high good quality of products, customers have become very fan of the product. But again, if you see the quality of the product delivered by Apple, when they come with the next generation of the product, they will be much better than what it had delivered. So they are always trying to breach the quality standards set by themselves. So again, quality depends if there is no even standards are regulated, but company on their own also can set up a quality standards which are very high. So as we are now saying same thing, now let us move towards the profession. So again, when we say about profession, there are many professions, and every profession when they want to start their work, they have some entry barriers to cross. So example, if an advocate wants to start advocacy, or as a lawyer wants to start, they will be going and enrolling under bar council, which have certain parameters to follow. If a doctor wants to start a practice, MCI giving the guidelines what has to be followed. Similarly, as institute also found guidelines which has to be followed by practicing chartered accountants. So moving on to the same, Chirag, what according to you are any standards for profession?
So in adding to your example of doctor, if as you said that doctor is running the nursing home or cleaning, then they have to follow the MIC guidelines. If they want to, if he wants to scale up and want to set up a hospital, then he have to follow the NABH guidelines or even the JIC international guidelines. In a similar way, in if any CA wants to do the practice, then he has to take the COP from the ICAI. But if he wants to do the audit of any listed companies or banking companies, or even a unlisted company with more than certain thresholds, so he might have to take the peer review certificate.
Correct. I got it. So, when we are discussing this also, let us discuss World Forum also. So, do you have any idea what at World Forum, whether such type of what institute has form of AQML, whether same type of things are existing at World Forum or
AQM is a amalgamation of various audit quality indicators, that is AQI. So in world, they are following the AQI. There is no such AQM.
Okay.
So ICAI has come up with this AQM by amalgamating all these AQIs.
Okay. So I agree with you what you are saying, but my also observation is that when we say about World Forum, SQC is there, which is universally followed. And when we speak about our fraternity, we are also governed by peer review board, we are governed by QRB, we are governed by FRB, which was formed, and we are also governed by external body, which is NFRA. So these all bodies are set up to see that whether our audit qualities are met or not. So further, institute has made up a AQMM. If you ask me, AQMM is basically made to build a capacity building for our CA firms to see where weaknesses are there by reviewing the model and strengthening where there are weaknesses so that we can pursue and become better. So Chirag, can you tell me what according to you AQMM is at present?
First, we will talk about why AQM. The ICI, there are various responsibility of auditors towards various stakeholders like investors, regulatory bodies, and even to the third parties, bankers and tax officers. If they come up with why you have given the opinion that these financial statements contains true and fair view, then you must have some audit documentation to support your opinion. Now, again, I one of the past president of ICII has stated in event, which was also quoted in the newspaper, that audit is a very serious business. Stay away from it if you can't meet the expectation.
I agree. See, this is what true, Chirag, what you said is because nowadays we have read across that any event or frauds have happened. First, order has taken at hold that why such event has happened and why it do not bring this to the notice of the investors, the people who are so I agree, and this is very good initiative by ICI, so that this would be a learning curve for every firms by going through this AQMN. So Chirag, can you describe what are there in AQMN?
So AQM mainly contains divided into three sections. Section 1, practice management operational. Second, human resource management. And section 3, practice management strategical and functional. Now, uh, three different mark scores has been given to the each section. 280 points has been given to the practice management operation. 240 scores has been given to the human resource management, and 80 score has been given to the practice management
So this
structural
sums
and
up to
functional.
around 600 points, which is a very good number of points. So yes, you are correctly stated, and what I also read is that once if 25% of marks are scored in each section, then that firm would be considered as a level 1, which would be a basic firm. In case they don't upgrade themselves, they would be lagging behind. Level 2 firms, they are saying they are progressing firm. They have, which is the markings are more than 26 to 50%. So if the percentage of the each section scores in this level, they are considered as level 2, and they are considered as a progressing firm, which as I said earlier. Level 3 has been defined by 51% to 75%. These firms have very good number of progression they have done. They are following all standards. But the institute states as a guidelines note that they should more strive to go under level 4. Level 4 is those firms who are scoring more than 75% in all the sections would be considered as level 4 firms. They say this firms are optimizing the maximum standards and procedures followed by this firm, and they should strive to optimize the further. Looking at this picture, this label which has been given by AQMN is inverse to what peer review is given. Peer reviews, yes, gives the bigger firm level 1, while this AQMM is given level 4, the better thing. So yeah, it's an inverse thing. But now, as you have described this section wise, so section 1, which states about practice management operations. So what are there in practice management operations?
The practice management operation is mainly subdivided into 9 sections. I will talk on few of them. So, does the firm is having methodology that complies with the auditing standards? Does the firm have standard format for the letter of engagement, representation letters, reports, and standard routine working papers? So, as you are aware that we are maintaining standard format for the letter of engagement and reports in our firm.
Yes, we have prepared a form which gives it automatically in PDF form. Correct.
Then evaluation of engagement of the all team members, including partners, managers, articles, and even staff. With availability and use of standard checklist available and use of standard documentation. Then
Even technology, they have given more emphasis on this. So technology adoption, how technology you have adopted, whether you have given proper domains, email address to all your employee staff, and you have, whether data analysis tools are used by it effectively or not. So they have given more emphasis on technology. And we as a firm, when we had done this AQMM, we scored very good amount of marks in this AQMM section 1 also. So at least we are better in this case. But yes, moving into this integrity also, there are certain negative points which they also given. In case if a firm does a rework for client, then there are negative markings. And in case there is any dispute with client other than professional bills, then they give us negative marking also. So to summarize this section 1, so primarily their focus is given on quality standards as well as technology adoption. So they have given more emphasis now and how firms are adopting technology, how they are integrating technology in work, basic work also. So they have given more emphasis. And now moving on to section 2, which is human resource management. Human resource management, if you ask me, what raw material is for manufacturers is human resources to our audit firms. So yes, Chirag.
so they emphasize on whether is there any audit program, audit training program mechanism in the audit firms practicing units. If is there any professional development hours allocated to the CA firm by practicing unit? Like they are giving separate marks. If you are giving only the training, then you can only get 2 points. But if you are giving the technical training, then you can only score 6 points.
Okay.
So, does the firm have written KPIs to evaluate the firm partners and managers? Does the employee have technical set of skills in the technical era like AI, blockchain, audit, and data analytical tools? Is there any activity or management planning like timesheets are there?
Correct. So I agree. They have given more emphasis on training, time management, and this. So it is more important how you are managing your human resources, how appraisals are done, whether you are seeing that people who with our technical skills are working properly, how well you are rewarding, and they're also saying that in case they're not performing, how they are treated so that your skills are uplifted. So this section is most important because if you look at into this, it's a main forte. Now moving on to the section 3, which is strategic for firm management. So what are the points covered here?
Here, does the firm have balance mixed of experience and new assurance partner? Is the firm comply with ICAI Code of Ethics, Companies Act requirements, and even other regulatory requirements? Now they have also given the marks of 16 marks of branch and network firms. If I don't know how they relate to the audit quality, if you don't have any branch or network.
I also agree. I have my personal view on this. See, it does not mean that branches by having, it's like being bigger is better. So nowadays in this digital era, we have faced COVID phase. We are also nowadays by having a video conferencing, we have a Teams which we use to connect across the world with people. We have done audits of many other different countries by sitting in this countries at this city. So if you ask me, having a branch at different location, whether it serves a purpose or not, it's a debatable issue. I don't want to go to debate, but this is my personal opinion. So yeah, other things which you wanted to say.
Is there any whistleblower policy in the audit firm? Is there any is the whether firm is peer reviewed or not? Is the firm empaneled with C&G or not? And is the firm have adequate infrastructure like internet, intranet?
Yes, so there again, coming to it's like having whether you have firewalls, VPN, which have a better infrastructure quality or not. I agree. See, this is what institute is more focusing on technology and infrastructure, so that the bandwidth which you want to work, whether you are able to work or not. Again, in this section, there are negative points they were given in regards to two, which I recollect is one, in case a QRB has given any remarks, then there is a negative point, and in case there is some misconduct, professional misconduct found on firm or member of a firm, then they give negative markings. So more or less, it is in case you there's no negative point, zero is the point. So in case you are no negative, zero is what the points would be considered. So yeah, I agree. And once all this is self-evaluation is done, the same is carried forward in peer review, what I have read in the peer review guidelines. So when the peer reviewer comes, this self-evaluation form of AQMM is to be submitted to peer reviewer also. He'll go through the this same evaluation, and in case he has any deviations what are mentioned in AQMM, he has to comment on the same. So going forward again, we'll have to see how this is taken up and what remarks are there and how we'll be addressing. See, I to put all things in together, AQMM is very good because if a firm who is very small enough wants to become a bigger firm, they have some now set up standards also. So moving on to this same, Chira, can you tell me what are the applicability, which firms would be applicable for this AQMM?
So practicing unit who are auditing the listed entities, bankings, and insurance company, they are covered, and it is mandatory for them to follow the AQMM from
Okay.
1st April 2023.
And what about cooperative banks?
They are excluded. But if any cooperative bank there is multi-state cooperative bank, then they have to follow the AQMM.
Okay. And in regards to branch bank audit?
They are excluded.
So there's some liberalization given to small firms in case. But again, see what while reading this AQMM, even the small firm, it's a recommendation. It's not mandatory, but when the firms want to become up to give a delivery of a better quality services, if they follow this AQMM, it is better. Because by following this AQMM, they'll be able to give a better audit quality services. And this is what the institute has come up this guidelines for, and this will help us every firms to thrive to better thing, because as Modi ji wants that there are big fours in the world, we want big four from India also now, and by giving this AQMM, we our Indian firms can strive to become a better firms in this forward. So Chirag, thank you for your enlightening things on AQMM. It was better, and hope viewers like this. And in case they want more, we'll deliberate this AQMM in more detail going forward. Thank you.